Hi everyone, we are Project Salutaris, and today we are back with another video of our elderly well-being series. In this presentation, we will be exploring the physical well-being of elderly in Singapore. Before we start, we would like to thank everyone for the overwhelming support we received in the previous video. We hope that you have gained further insight about the mental health of elderly in Singapore. Now, to kickstart our presentation, we will briefly introduce our presentation agenda. There will be three main topics today. Firstly, the reasons that physical well-being is important. Secondly, we will go through some of the common causes and effects of chronic diseases. Last but not least, we will be explaining some of the ways that we, as individuals, can help keep our elderly physically active. Without further ado, let us present our first item. So, although many of us have heard the term physical well-being and associated advice such as exercise regularly and eat healthily, the reasons behind doing so are not often mentioned. As such, here are some of the reasons we should look after our physical well-being. It can contribute to the betterment of our mental health, management of our weight, and as well as reduce the risk of contracting diseases, strengthening our bones and muscles, and helping us to be more efficient in the daily tasks we do, such as housework. Now that we know more about the importance of good physical well-being, we also need to understand about the implications of poor physical health, such as chronic diseases. Chronic diseases are commonly seen in the elderly and are the significant causes of illness and death in Singapore, similar to other developed countries. If not properly diagnosed and managed, these conditions often lead to more serious complications, which may result in the need for costly treatments and hospitalizations. Chronic diseases are defined broadly as conditions that last 1 year or more and require ongoing medical attention, or limit activities of daily living, or both. It is important to note that chronic diseases can be controlled but not cured completely.
In the following slides, we will be talking more about some examples of chronic diseases. We will go in depth for two of the less commonly known chronic diseases, followed by briefly stating a few more examples as well as their causes. Firstly, cataracts. The most obvious symptom of cataracts will be blurred vision of an individual due to cloudy lens. This happens when the proteins in the lens of your eye break down as you age and linger around in your eye, making your lens cloudy. When a cataract clouds over the lens, your eye cannot focus light properly, leading to blurred vision. Cataracts may also be caused by existing medical conditions, such as diabetes or prolonged use of steroid medications. Spending too much time under the sun without eye protection, like sunglasses, can also speed up the formation of cataracts. Another example of a chronic disease is emphysema. Emphysema is a lung condition that causes shortness of breath in people due to air sacs or alveoli in the lungs being damaged. Some symptoms of emphysema include frequent coughing and the wheezing, and also shortness of breath. The main causes for most emphysema cases will be smoking tobacco, as well as air pollution, due to the entry of certain chemicals and dust particles into our bodies. If worsened or severe, it can result in further health complications, such as heart problems where pressures in the arteries increase, or may even result in collapsed lung, also known as pneumothorax, where air leaks into the space between your lung and chest wall, which is dangerous. Here are a few more common examples of chronic diseases, namely cancer, diabetes, stroke, and heart disease. These are all examples of serious diseases that require constant care and treatment to prevent any chronic conditions from worsening. In the next two slides, we will be going through some possible causes of chronic illnesses so that everyone can be more aware of how such conditions may arise in individuals. To begin with, heavy tobacco use or exposure to secondhand smoke can seriously damage an individual's airway and lungs. This can lead to chronic diseases such as emphysema or chronic bronchitis, which are conditions associated with the respiratory system. Next, poor nutrition can lead to type 2 diabetes mellitus and kidney disease. The intake of nutrients by our body must also be regulated, as there are many different types of poor nutrition. But the two types mentioned in our slides include high sugar diet and high saturated fat intake. Physical inactivity of an individual would also affect his or her organ functions. This would in turn lead to other chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and coronary heart disease, which have the potential to be severe conditions, affecting major organs in the body, especially if treatment is not sought out immediately. Excessive alcohol use can also lead to multiple chronic illnesses such as liver cirrhosis, fibrosis, and hepatitis.
In the slides we are about to present, we will be explaining why chronic diseases are detrimental to our health, as well as some things that we can do to reduce the chances of us contracting these chronic conditions. Studies and statistics have shown that the percentage of seniors with 3 or more chronic illnesses have increased by a significant amount from 2009 to 2017, which is concerning as this could be an indicator that we need to make changes to how we live, otherwise we risk similar or even higher chances of contracting such diseases. In 2017, a whopping 31% of seniors had cataracts, while 25% had diabetes, both of which are chronic conditions that can increase in severity if not treated immediately. So, why is this a problem? This is a problem because by 2030, a quarter or more of Singapore's population will be above 65 years old, and the chances of contracting diseases increases as the immune system weakens as one grows older. Should more and more people contract these diseases, it will result in people being unable to complete their daily tasks and activities, and will also bring down the efficiency and power of our workforce. However, fret not. There are some measures that we can take in our personal lives to reduce the chances of our seniors and also ourselves from suffering from chronic conditions. Firstly, it is of great importance for us to constantly encourage our seniors to remain physically active through outdoor exercises as well as sports. Additionally, we can also talk to them to find out more about some outdoor hobbies that they might have to keep them physically occupied so that they can have sufficient exercise to remain healthy. This not only helps to reduce the chances of contracting chronic diseases, but is also a good way to maintain physical health and build a stronger immune system in an individual. Similar to what we mentioned in our previous video, it is also important to let our seniors know that we care for them through displaying patience and empathy towards them. We can do so by accompanying them to play their favorite sports or joining them for a jog in a park, etc. etc.
It is important for the elderly to lead a healthy lifestyle, and that begins from consuming a healthy diet. Actively encouraging your seniors to maintain a healthy diet can do wonders in preventing chronic diseases. Food that you can add into their diet are fruits, vegetables, wholemeal carbs, and lean meat, which provide essential nutrients without adding extra calories. Avoid foods that are high in cholesterol and fat, as this might lead to high blood pressure. Besides that, looking out for common symptoms that your seniors might have is your first line of defense against chronic diseases. After all, prevention is better than cure, and spotting symptoms early can reduce medical costs, discomfort and pain, and allow for early treatment. You can do this by checking in with them regularly and keep a lookout for these symptoms as mentioned earlier on. If their symptoms are serious, please seek medical attention immediately. Before we conclude our presentation, here are some key pointers to take note of. Firstly, prevention is better than cure. We should always look for the ways to prevent or reduce the chances of us contracting any chronic diseases through maintaining good physical health. This is because putting in the effort to keep ourselves physically healthy will go a long way in building strong physical health habits, which will in turn reduce the risk of us suffering from chronic diseases. Secondly, everyone can play their part in looking after not only their own, but also their family members and especially seniors' well-being. However, if anyone is displaying symptoms of chronic disease, do make sure that you encourage them to seek the help of a professional immediately to prevent the chronic condition from worsening. It is also important for us to remember that although chronic diseases cannot be cured, they can be controlled and regulated by making changes to the way we live our lives, such as through dieting and exercise. With that, we have come to the end of our presentation today. We hope that through this video, you have gained a greater insight about the physical well-being of elderly in Singapore, with facts about the effects and causes of the various chronic illnesses. Everyone can play and do a small part in ensuring the physical well-being of others around us. So, what are you waiting for? Feel free to spread and share this knowledge with others around you. We are Project Salutaris, and thank you for tuning into today's video. Be sure to keep a lookout for our next video, and we hope to see you soon.